Thanks to iDisplayIt for making this video possible. If you guys want stands or display cases for your LEGO and other items, go ahead and check the link in the description below. So like most people, and if you've seen my last video, you would know this, we all think the Imperial Shuttle from the new 2021 wave is unfortunately fairly disappointing. But unfortunately, due to the way that the ship is designed, there is not really a lot you can do to make it less disappointing. But we're certainly going to try our best with these 6 simple mods you can do to your 2021 Imperial Shuttle. Now unfortunately, I do have to say, without changing the entire design of this ship, you are not fixing some of the problems that it's going to have. These are 6 simple mods that you can do to make your ship look better without having to restructure the entire thing. That's always what this series has kind of been about, adding extra pieces to a model to just improve its look. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to fix that chin in just a few simple moves. But what we can do is we can certainly enhance those engines at the back by adding a lighting kit. Now the lighting kit that I've used here is again one of the ones that I used for the blacksmith shop. It's just a flicker effects board, as well as 2 lights and a small battery pack. Now these lights here are white lights, hence why they look a bit funny. If I'm honest, blue lights would have looked better in this situation, just to really enhance the blue color. And if you're going to do this yourself, I recommend just buying the blue lights. But it also shows that you don't need a big massive lighting kit to make these models look good. You only need 2 lights, a flicker effects board, and a battery pack. That's going to cost you, what, $20, $25? Next thing we're going to be doing is the one thing that I complained about in my video, is fixing the interior on the cockpit. Now I am aware that I messed up one of the steps of the cockpit and I put this plate a bit too high, meaning that we couldn't open it without opening the entire ship. That's obviously now been fixed, so we can just open the cockpit. I recommend taking off the cockpit to do this step, just because trying to get your fingers in that small gap there is just not going to be a good option. But we're actually going to remove a few bits here to try and make this gap that unfortunately the ship has by default, and just try and fill that in a bit more by adding these 2 tan bricks. These might look better in black, but I personally like the tan. We're going to reattach our cockpit piece, and we're also going to add a control panel piece. Now this piece really shouldn't have been missing off of the default model. I really don't understand why they didn't do this. I'm also going to take off that minifig piece that allows him to just sort of sit in and out, because if you keep it there, then he has to lean back. But if you get rid of it and just place him literally on the studs, yeah, he'll be a bit more difficult to get in and out. But personally, I think this looks way better because he doesn't have to lean back at all. He can literally just sit down and actually see out of the cockpit, which I think is really cool. We're also going to take these tiles from the back and we're going to put them on the front where this plate is here. If you have a 2x6 tile, by all means put this there, but unfortunately they're too new at this point, to the point where I don't have any in my collection, so reusing these ones from the back is fine. You just need to line them up a bit more, as they're a 1 stud connection each. That just makes the cockpit look so much more sleek, and I really don't understand again why they haven't used tiles in this case instead of using a plate, especially because now they have that 2x6 tile. Now on to probably what the biggest step will be on this entire model. I have got a lot of pieces here, and you saw in the piece count at the beginning that I'm going to be adding all of these pieces basically to the wings. There's a lot of things like Nexonite shields here, again, that I had spare from the blacksmith, as well as a few random plates that we'll be putting on here and there just to try and make the whole thing look generally better. We're going to be doing things like extending the wings by 1 stud. People said to tile off the wings. Unfortunately, I don't own many white tiles, so I literally just tried to use Nexonite shields in this sort of locking formation, and that tended to look pretty good, and I'm actually quite happy with how it looks. It might not necessarily be massively accurate, but it does look good, and it can also be panel lining as well, which I think is quite cool. Also going to take these grill pieces and add them here and here, as well as adding them directly to the front of the cockpit, similar to the UCS one. One thing I do want to talk about is these ugly grey pieces under the wings. Now, unfortunately, there is just no way of getting rid of these. I had a look to see if there are any white ones available, even tried to look to see if I could order some, and without, again, changing a lot of the design, there is no way to change these out for white ones. So I thought, what could I do to make this slightly simpler? I could obviously put inverted plates here that are white to make it look a lot nicer on the underside of the wing, which I believe you could do, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of them. So without buying lots of bricks, there's nothing really I can do to the ugliness of the underside of the wing, but what I can do is add more grey pieces to make it look like those grey pieces are meant to be there. It looks really weird when they're just the only grey thing on the underside of the wing. It makes it look like they're not meant to be grey. If you add a few extra grey parts, it kind of blends them in a bit more and it doesn't look so bad. Next, we're going to talk about displaying it and how I think this is crucial to actually making your Imperial Shuttle look good. And that leads me to the sponsor of this video, iDisplayIt. Now, these guys were gracious enough to send me out a few of their stands, as well as a case to show off to you guys. Now, I think a stand for this particular set is crucial, considering it allows you to open the wings and have them displayed in the nice triangle formation that this ship really should be in. Now, of course, you could build that stand out of Lego bricks and attach it to the bottom, but then you've got a black stand, and unfortunately using clear pieces isn't, in Lego's case, very clear. That's where a nice stand like this comes in, and it means that you can see the ship on a nice one-piece stand and it connects into the bottom of the ship still. You can also get these stands at an angle to make a more dramatic pose. But obviously, if you wanted to display this Imperial Shuttle with its wings up, or you just want to protect it, then this case is a good option as well. These type of cases that companies like iDisplayIt do are a great way of keeping anything protected as well as dust free. And this isn't the only products that they do a range of products, and I haven't been paid to say any of this. I genuinely just really like their stuff. I've talked about them in other videos before, and you should definitely check them out using my link in the description below. Thanks iDisplayIt for sponsoring this video. I look forward to working more with you guys in the future. Number 5 on the list is actually working out some form of better landing gear, as the landing gear we've got on the shuttle at the moment is just awful. Now, I think the best way that I have managed to do this is just a buildable landing gear. Obviously, it's not going to fold up into the ship or anything like the X-Wings, but honestly, I think you could probably put this on some hinge pieces and then that would probably work. But I got these nice pieces here that are really easy to make, and then these just attach to the bottom of the ship, giving it a slight higher elevation as well as a much more accurate look. And this is honestly probably the most simple but most effective mod, looking really good, and it also looks like it was meant to be there, and it means that you can display it in something like a case in its upwards formation, if you like that look more. And the last thing that we can do at number 6 is just add more minifigures. I think this is one of those things that a lot of people get scared to do, is mix minifigures from one set to the other, when that really shouldn't be the case. My dad's been working on a nice Stormtrooper collection now for a while, so I just took a few of them out to display next to this Imperial Shuttle, and it makes it look so much nicer and a lot more alive. It's great for displaying on a shelf because you just have a lot more minifigures to play with in terms of posing it next to the ship, working on the ship, and stuff like that. It's also great for play because it means that you just have more minifigures to play with. So let's see all of these mods in action on just how it looked before and how it looks after, and I think we could do that in a nice little smoke machine montage way. So that's been this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to iDisplayIt again for sponsoring this video. Their link is in the description. Please go and look at their stuff. They make cases for pretty much any set, and their stands can be interacted with pretty much any Star Wars ship that's on the market. Even having some dedicated stands for things like UCS sets, and protection for things like the art. I really think these guys are killing it in the game at the moment, and honestly, that's my personal opinion. They haven't paid me to say any of this. This is just honestly the way that I feel about their stuff. Thanks so much to the people who have got to the end of this video. Thanks to all of the members that have helped. Press the join button next to that subscribe button, and if you want extra perks for watching this channel, go ahead and consider hitting that. Thanks to all the people that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting that bell, by the way, because I don't think YouTube actually show you anything for just pressing the subscribe button anymore. So if you want all the updates, make sure you're pressing that bell and hitting all. Please let me know if you're doing any of these mods down in the comments below, and also my Instagram and Discord. We are giving away 2 months of Nitro passes when we get to 400 members on the Discord. We're at like 360 at the moment. So if you fancy having Discord Nitro, all you have to do to enter that is go to the link in the description and join the TommyCBricks Discord server. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I'll speak to you in the next one. Goodbye.